From WQAD News 8, this is Good Morning Quad Cities.
Ooh, they invited me back.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'm still awake at that. Wow. Good morning, Quad Cities. We're happy to have you once again. Day number 2, our 8 a.m. show here. It's Tuesday, June 3rd. I'm Devin Brooks.
I'm Ava Hedges, and if you haven't had enough Good Morning Quad Cities, well, here's your chance. There's more.
Yeah, I know. We continue to bring you more updated news and weather around the clock, and we just really appreciate you joining us each and every day, Monday through Friday. This is brand new for us, like entering new territory.
Yeah, it felt like the first day of school yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Still trying to work out things here, especially, from this seat, I would say. But hey, how about this?
Look at
we
these.
have these awesome coffee mugs that we were given because of our first day as a celebration.
Yeah, so hopefully you grab your coffee mug too and you come sit down and enjoy us here on the 8 Plus app for GMQC at 8.
Yeah, on the back they wrote Devin Sippy Cup for whatever reason. I don't understand why, but it's almost all gone actually, so probably need some more.
I'm gonna need to get a refill.
I have to call
Thirsty boy this morning.
Yeah, Devin Brooks, the intern, where you at? Yeah.
And before we get to all of your news and weather headlines, we do want to make a quick programming note. So some weeks you're going to see Devin and Andrew at the desk, and other weeks you're going to see Andrew and myself at the desk. And that's just so when we're not here, we can still get out into the community and, report and write all the stories that you love to see on Good Morning Quad Cities. So when we're not here on the desk, nobody's going anywhere. Yeah. Devin and I are both still here. You'll just see us trade off with Andrew every other week.
Yeah, so just the heads up there on other assignments that we try to cover and exclusive content that we try to bring you here at WQAD. But also our focus today is on the weather and storm energy.
That's right. Yeah, you notice the bug is red at the lower bottom of your screen there. That means a weather impact alert is in place, and we're going to be tracking that for later this evening. Some strong to severe storms with a good rush of wind remain a possibility. Traffic has been quiet all morning long, and it looks like that continues to be the case here this morning. Not seeing anything slowing down, so we'll move on from that and go to live Doppler radar, which is actually tracking storms exactly where our in-house future track model said they would be at this hour, and that is moving into southeast Iowa. So that complex of storms there, which is not severe by the way, is likely going to hold together and possibly clip areas into extreme northwest Clinton and Jackson counties, maybe even getting into Dubuque and Galena here a little bit later this morning. You can also see there's more showers located in northeast Missouri. All this activity is expected to move in our direction, so I think as we approach the noon hour, things will really start to get wet around here. 73 warm degrees. It's also very humid this morning. We're going to turn into some of that humidity into some very heavy downpours as this rain moves through later. Lots of 70s everywhere, and we're going to stay in the 70s today. Mid 70s followed by upper 70s a little bit later. But our weather impact alert, it is from 4 until 11 o'clock this evening. Damaging wind gusts continue to be our main concern. There could also be some small hail, but this looks like more of a wind event than anything else. We will take you through Future Track hour by hour when these storms will arrive in your hometown and how much rain they'll put down. Some of the amounts are impressive, and we'll track it all coming up.
All right, thanks, Andrew. Well, this morning, air quality alerts are in place across several U.S. states due to the smoke from wildfires burning in Canada. Take a look. Today, smog like this is getting heavy from parts of Minnesota and Michigan down to South Carolina. This morning, more than 180 fires are still burning in Canada, and they've now burned nearly 4 million acres so far this year. The poor air quality is expected to stick around the impacted areas through at least tonight. Also this morning, as you head out, you may find the fresh air doesn't feel quite as fresh. On your screen, we've put up the EPA's live air quality tracker, and you can see right now the Quad Cities area is all yellow. That means our air quality is the moderate category. Today, there may be health concerns for people sensitive to air pollution, though it's considered an acceptable level. Well, this morning, an update on the fire at Wallace's Garden Center. As of Monday, staff are back at work tending to plants and preparing to open shop as soon as officials give the green light. This morning, we also know the firefighter who got hurt has been released and is doing well, according to Bettendorf's fire chief. Today, we're still waiting for answers on what caused the fire. And in an update on Monday, Wallace's says if you've placed an order for delivery, don't worry. Deliveries will continue as scheduled. Well, starting today, Iowans filing for unemployment online will be going about it in a completely new way. News 8's Marshawn Gunn talks about those changes if you're out of a job.
If you're an Iowan who's unemployed or looking for a new job, the process online is going to look a lot different. Today, the Iowa Works launched a new website, consolidating all of their decades-old systems into one place. In the past, unemployed Iowans needed to use multiple different websites to complete the unemployment process and find new work. Along with that, the technology was out of date. But starting this morning, the new iowaworks.gov website is live. Through the new website, Iowans will be able to file a claim, take part in re-employment activities, and find new work, all in one place. While it's beneficial for the community, it's also a step forward for employers. They'll still use the same My Iowa UI system for unemployment tax functions. But now, all activities and decisions involving unemployment claims and appeals will take place on the new iowaworks.gov website. The state says that now the website is live, claimants will be able to file initial or weekly applications, along with claiming any benefits missed during the downtime. With such a significant change, Iowa Works expects a transition period for many Iowans. However, the agency is confident that this change will be good for all Iowans. In Davenport, Marshawn Gunn, WQAD News 8.
Well, as of the most recent data in April, Iowa's unemployment rate is 3.5%. That's lower than the national-wide rate of 4.2%. And on your screen, you can see the unemployment rate for each Iowa county. Scott, Clinton, and Jackson counties are higher than the statewide rate, while Muscatine County is a bit below. Today, the city of Sterling is now officially in a river edge redevelopment zone. The city will now get tax incentives and funding for waterfront projects within a 12-mile radius. The designation could cover up to 25% of the project costs near the water, and it'll be extended to property owners hoping to generate business.
Can't be for your own house for, hey, I want a roof. It has to be for something for income generating. That will allow us to bring tourism dollars to town, tourism tax dollars, which will allow us to have events.
City leaders will spend the next couple of months mapping out the 12-mile radius before beginning public hearings with residents. Today, Iowa Senator Joni Ernst has a new challenger as she continues facing backlash for her Medicaid comments last week. On Monday, J.D. Scholten announced his bid for Senate, and Scholten is currently a Democrat state representative in the state's 1st district, which covers southeast Iowa. In his announcement, Scholten specifically cites Senator Ernst's comments made on Friday's town hall. That's where Ernst said, quote, "We're all gonna die," after people voiced concerns over potential cuts to Medicaid.
Cutting vital services to give bigger tax breaks to billionaires isn't just bad policy, it's theft from people like you and me.
Scholten is the second Democrat to declare for the Senate seat, joining Nathan Sage. Well, the time is 8:08, still ahead. It's Pride Month, where the Quad Cities is celebrating this year and how you can join in the fun.
And as you step outside this morning, you're noticing the humidity really ramping up. That means storm energy is building too. And not only are we tracking some heavy rainfall, but some gusty winds with some of these storms. When they'll arrive in your hometown and how much rain they'll bring. Tracking it as part of a weather impact alert next.
From WQAD News 8, this is Good Morning Quad Cities.
We're going to very likely see some heavy rain take place in many of our hometowns.
We're going to continue to track this and fine-tune those threats.
Bracing for impact as storms roll through our area tonight.
Look at the rainfall, the intensity of that.
The storm system producing some very dangerous conditions.
We had 80-mile-per-hour winds.
The wind was so strong. There was debris flying around crazy.
Disaster proclamations are in effect for more than 20 Iowa counties.
Stream extended coverage. Download on your TV and watch for free. Expertise doesn't come simply from classes and manuals and certifications. Expertise requires real-world experience. That's what Crawford Company has delivered to the Quad Cities for over 70 years. Whether you know us for heating and air conditioning, welded fabrication, plumbing, or electrical, our experts bring you peace of mind knowing you've chosen the best. Crawford Company.
Which would you rather sleep on? Do you have a foundation like that box of toothpicks we just cleaned up in our parking lot? Or does your mattress rest on box springs that give your body the support it needs for a good night's sleep? Call today or visit our stores in Moline and Bettendorf to help us build a custom box spring just for you. Call L&W Bedding for a better night's sleep.
For all these years that we've been working on the 3-degree guarantee, we have raised over $80,000. And I would have to say it's the most successful sponsored partnership, not only here at WQAD, but in the entire market as well. Because we go out of our way to help not only these charities, but the communities involved in these charities. The money that we raise for each and every one of these organizations is a true gift to them.
Pay it forward.
Thank you.
Shining a spotlight on hardworking people.
There's so many great people out here that want to help and give back that they don't know that there's opportunity to do this.
Determined to make a difference in our community.
I always thought about a way I could bring good back into the community.
Help us keep the Pay It Forward movement going. Nominate somebody on the contest deals page of WQAD.com. We might just give you $300 to give to them.
You're going to make me cry.
News 8's Pay It Forward. Brought to you by Essentra Credit Union.
Good Morning Quad Cities keeps you prepared for whatever the day brings.
Now's the time to start planning ahead.
Stay ahead of the storm with Weather Impact Alert Days.
A couple of thunderstorms tomorrow.
Working overnight to get you the latest breaking news.
Today, crews are starting construction on a portion of I-80.
Start with a team you trust.
Do you think the greater concern is the higher prices on certain goods these tariffs might bring?
On Good Morning Quad Cities. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m. and streaming on WQAD 8+.
Welcome back. It's 8/12 and it's Pride Month. And this weekend, the Quad Cities Pride Fest returns for its third year. This Friday and Saturday, thousands of people are expected at Rock Island Schreiber Park, and there will be hours of entertainment, including music and drag queens, as well as vendors, food trucks, and community resources. And we have a link to get your tickets on our website at WQAD.com under the As Seen on TV tab. Be careful if you're out and about today, later, Andrew.
Yeah, especially later and more specifically this evening. That's when we're expecting some highly impactful weather. We have a weather impact alert in place for later this evening. We'll get to that in just a second. We've been watching traffic this morning, which has been very uneventful, thankfully. That's how we like it, right? Still a lot of haze, though, in our sky. In fact, as we check in on the air quality meter, still in the moderate category, though we were getting awfully close to unhealthy for some at points this morning. There you see the trend for the last 3 hours slowly starting to improve. That's the direction we want to see. Let's talk about our weather impact alert for this evening, 4 until 11 o'clock. So a little bit of a window here when some of the storms will take advantage of a little storm energy. That means wind is our main focus today. There also could be some instances of some small hail, but I think wind is going to be the big steal of the show today. That's the way the data holds right now. So a couple of things to know about. Of course, make sure you have your Storm Track 8 app loaded on your phone, ready to go. Also, check back in here on the 8+ app about 45 minutes from now. We're going to have a severe storm discussion, doing a little deeper dive into some of the ingredients, the timing, and what to expect with storms this evening. So stick right here, right through the 9 o'clock hour. We've got lots to talk about. Let's give you a little preview of what we'll dive deeper into, and that's this here, Storm Prediction Center. As I kind of suggested yesterday, thinking that storm risk, at least for the more robust storms, sinking a little further southwest. That's exactly what's happened here. So now 2 out of 5 for like Aledo, Monmouth, Galesburg, Knoxville, down to Burlington, Macomb, and Mount Pleasant. The rest of us in a 1 out of 5 for more isolated activity, including those gusty winds. 72 degrees outside already this morning. It's not the heat, it's the humidity. It is not going to be hot today like it was yesterday, but that humidity is absolutely going to be noticeable. Everyone in the 70s at this hour, and that's where we're likely going to stay. Live Doppler radar tracking some very heavy rain-producing thunderstorms. Not so much here in the immediate Quad Cities, but here into southeast Iowa, almost east central Iowa. These, should they hold together, and they likely will begin working their way into parts of Jackson, Clinton County, and eventually up into the Galena, Dubuque region a little bit later this morning. Heavy downpours, lots of lightning expected with those storms, but they will not be severe. What we're going to be tracking is the actual cold front, which is right here. That gets a little bit closer to us later this evening. That will provide a better opportunity for some stronger storm development. And you can see why the Storm Prediction Center moved that 2 out of 5 further to the southwest. That's where the higher levels of storm energy will be as we go into the afternoon. That equates to stronger wind speeds as those storms push through. And once they do, the severe weather threat will come to an end. So our in-house model has been doing a fantastic job handling that scattered activity, working through later this morning. I think more scattered showers and storms possible through lunchtime. Then you look at this here, clearing taking place. And that's going to lead to that more robust storm development here coming in right from the southwest as we go into the afternoon and from the evening. And this is interesting because this is a newer model run than what we showed this morning. And this has moved the timeline up now to after 3 o'clock. So we may have to do a little bit of adjusting here on that weather impact alert coming up before the 11. That's why I want you to come back for the 9 o'clock live stream, because by then we get to do a deeper dive into the data and we'll adjust accordingly. So keep that in mind. Once the storms move through this evening, then we talk about the heavy rain taking over, and that could potentially produce some localized flash flooding later tonight into early tomorrow morning. Quite an impressive rain that could take shape here, including the potential for more than 2 inches worth of rain. So again, top of the hour, 9 o'clock sharp on the 8+ app, right where you're at right here. That's where we'll do our severe storm discussion. Tell a friend if they have a smart TV and they haven't downloaded this app yet. Go ahead and let them know, especially if it's an Amazon, Roku, or Apple TV. That's where you'll be able to find us at 9 o'clock. So our weather impact alert will continue through this afternoon and this evening. Then we go dry as we go into the weekend, followed by more opportunities for showers and storms later, perhaps Sunday night into early Monday. But my goodness, Devin, that humidity today, that is the first thing I noticed out the door this morning. It's like, ooh, this air is thick.
That's what I was going to say already. Yeah, in the 70s waking up.
Something.
All right, and it's one of the joys of also having this exclusive 8+ app for all of our shows, because we can give you updates around the clock like you do in the weather department with the rest of the team.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then here for our 8 o'clock hour. All right.
Lots to dig into.
Thank you. Well, still ahead, Your Money with Mark. He's breaking down how lowering the U.S.'s credit rating could impact you.
Hey, it's me, the Crawford guy. Is your water heater not working? Do you have a leaky pipe or faucet? Is there a drain that isn't draining? Crawford to the rescue. Crawford plumbers and drain cleaners are experts at providing real solutions for your real problems. For plumbing installation and repair, make the right call. Crawford Company. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, drain cleaning, and electrical.
When news breaks, watch News 8+. See the story as it's happening. Be on the scene, faster than ever before. Live updates from the team you trust. Stream breaking news on News 8+. Download free on your TV now.
For all these years that we've been working on the 3-degree guarantee, we have raised over $80,000. The money that we raise for each and every one of these organizations is a true gift to them.
We have always bought our bedding here with L&W. Been very happy with the service, and above all, we've been pleased with the quality of the merchandise that we purchased.
I just turn it over every 3 months. It's still just as comfy. I've had my L&W mattress for 24 years.
We know they're made individually right here, and then if we needed service, we knew that L&W was available to take care of us if that would be necessary.
L&W Bedding, Moline and Bettendorf.
When you need electrical work, count on Crawford Company. The Autolite electricians at Crawford Company have been serving the area since 1967. We can help you with installation, repairs, wiring, lighting, and low-voltage electrical like Ethernet cables. Plus, if you have more than just electrical needs, Crawford can be your one-stop contractor. For heating, air conditioning, plumbing, drain cleaning, and electrical, count on Crawford Company.
Pay it forward.
Oh, thank you.
Shining a spotlight on hardworking people.
There's so many great people out here that want to help and give back that they don't know that there's opportunity to do this.
Determined to make a difference in our community.
I always thought about a way I could bring good back into the community.
Help us keep the Pay It Forward movement going. Nominate somebody on the contest deals page of WQAD.com. We might just give you $300 to give to them.
You're gonna make me cry.
News 8's Pay It Forward, brought to you by Essentra Credit Union.
The WQAD8 Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time.
What is Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds' proposal?
Track how the weather will impact your day.
Weather impact alert is in place.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
There are a couple hundred people here.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. WQAD8 Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
It's time to take a look at your money. Just a couple of hours from now, markets reopen, kicking off what could be another busy week on Wall Street. 2 weeks ago, the international credit rating agency Moody's surprised Wall Street when it announced it had downgraded America's credit rating. Moody's lowered it from its highest AAA rating to its second highest rating of AA1. Now, financial advisor Mark Ivacheski is joining us on Zoom to break it down for us. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Ava. Good morning, Devin. Good to see you both again.
It's good to see you too, Mark. So tell us, what exactly does it mean when Moody's announced it lowered America's credit rating, and what impact have we seen from that decision?
Well, when it comes to analyzing the creditworthiness of governments, whether it's the U.S. or some foreign country, there are three main agencies: Moody's, Fitch, Standard & Poor's, and their ratings assign a level of risk when a government borrows money and its ability to repay its debts. Now, Moody's downgraded America's credit rating from its highest AAA rating down a notch to its second highest rating of AA1. But look, it's not the first time America's credit rating has been lowered. Fitch issued a similar downgrade a couple of years ago, 2023, and Standard & Poor's issued its downgrade back in 2011. Now, as for the Moody's downgrade, we really haven't seen any major impact in the financial markets. Ever since, Standard & Poor's was the first to lower our credit rating back in 2011, investors have still viewed U.S. debt as one of the safest forms of investment in the world. However, this recent downgrade continues to, raise some of those cautionary flags over the state of America's debt.
Now, what was the reason Moody's gave for its decision to lower America's credit rating?
Yeah, Devin, Moody's argument is, one, the extremely high amount of debt America has accumulated, but also the high cost of carrying that debt. Last year, America's total debt, Devin, reached a record high, $36.2 trillion. That's up 56% over the past 5 years and up 103% from 10 years ago. And all of this debt requires interest payments that are paid to the investors who purchased this debt. Last year, the U.S. government paid over $882 billion in interest payments to investors. This year, Devin, those interest payments will be close to $1 trillion. And Moody's is saying, look, this is getting out of control. Not only do you have to repay that $36.2 trillion in principal that you borrowed, but you also have to pay close to $1 trillion a year in interest to the investors you borrowed that money from.
And Mark, what are some of the ways the government can start to reduce that $36.2 trillion of debt?
Yeah, that's kind of a tricky question here. Look, the problem, Ava, is that the government has a long history of spending more money than it brings in. For 23 straight years, the U.S. government has run a deficit. Last year, that deficit was $1.9 trillion. Now, there's two ways to reduce the deficit. You can, raise revenues, or you can reduce expenses. Both are pretty politically sensitive options, though. Increasing revenues generally means raising taxes and fees on individuals, families, and businesses.
We thank you so much for being with us, and we'll see you next Monday.
Time right now is 8:24. Let's get a live check of traffic and, of course, weather impact alert for this evening. Traffic has been really quiet this morning. We have nothing delayed or stopped right now. We'll keep watch on that as we usually do for you. Live look at downtown Davenport where some sun is trying to peek through the hazy skies, that is, at this hour. Temperatures in the low 70s, lots of humidity sitting around the region. I'll remind you of when that weather impact alert will go into effect and when storms will likely arrive in your hometown. We'll track that one last time right after the break.
Good Morning Quad Cities keeps you prepared for whatever the day brings.
Now's the time to start planning ahead.
Stay ahead of the storm with Weather Impact Alert Days.
A couple of thunderstorms tomorrow.
Working overnight to get you the latest breaking news.
Today, crews are starting construction on a portion of I-80.
Start with a team you trust.
Do you think the greater concern is the higher prices on certain goods these tariffs might bring?
On Good Morning Quad Cities. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m. and streaming on WQAD 8+.
Do you want to see kitchen and bath remodel stories that are local to the Quad Cities? Then watch The Village Home Show.
Tune in Sundays at 10:30 a.m. for The Village Home Show, right here on WQAD News 8. Pay It Forward.
Thank you.
Shining a spotlight on hardworking people.
There's so many great people out here that want to help and give back that they don't know that there's opportunity to do this.
Determined to make a difference in our community.
I always thought about a way I could bring good back into the community.
Help us keep the Pay It Forward movement going. Nominate somebody on the contest deals page of WQAD.com. We might just give you $300 to give to them.
You're going to make me cry.
News 8's Pay It Forward, brought to you by Essentra Credit Union.
For all these years that we've been working on the 3-degree guarantee, we have raised over $80,000. The money that we raise for each and every one of these organizations is a true gift to them.
Well, coming up on the 8+ streaming app today at 9 a.m. this morning is live weather impact alert coverage by Andrew and Peter. At 10 a.m. is Mom Squad, and at 11 a.m. we'll be live again with GMQC at 11. Still ahead, also on our news at 11, a new report on the deadly collapse at 324 Main Street. What we now know, records say, the owner of the property was doing when the building went down. Plus, a display of good sportsmanship. How these young kickboxers ended the match in an unexpected way. Andrew, final check of the forecast.
Yeah, I want to remind you our weather impact alert starts later this afternoon into this evening, 4 to 11 o'clock. Though again, there's some wiggle room with this. We've had a new run this morning at Future Track showing this coming in just about an hour or two earlier, but wind continues to be our primary concern. There's also an isolated tornado potential too, but don't think that's going to be anything widespread the way things look right now. Speaking of right now, 72 degrees, a lot of haze still across the region. Gusty south winds still moving in that Gulf moisture. Radar still tracking some active thunderstorms here, nothing severe, but all of this likely to expand and continue working northeastward. So if you're not getting wet right now, which most of us are not, we will start to get wet as we get closer to the noon hour, widening this picture out. Next round of forcing coming in right here. And notice the clearing ahead of that taking place. That's why I think Future Track is picking up on this new trend. Again, we just got this model run in. As you've been watching us here on the 8 o'clock newscast, another advantage to watching this. You get the first model run before everybody else does. There's that storm activity scattered here into the early afternoon, but this is the new development. This intense looking line of storms coming in at not 4, not 5 or 6, but now 3. This is not a guarantee, but it's interesting. We're now seeing this solution being displayed here. So we're going to do a little deeper dive into this coming up at the 9 o'clock hour. Certainly going to be some heavy rain, and then there's the potential for more gusty winds with these storms coming in later this evening. So one last reminder, 30 minutes from now, roughly, live severe storm discussion coming your way right here where you're at on the 8+ app. Sit tight, don't go anywhere. We've got a lot to dive into to get you prepared for some potential active weather coming in this evening.
And finally this morning, let's check in with the Arconic Eagle Cam in Riverdale, Iowa, as these two eagles were born in mid-March and now they're old enough to be flying and catching their own food.
They still don't have names yet, but these two are the 17th and 18th eagles Born in the nest.
Oh, you see the flapping there?
Look at him, airborne.
Yeah, that's me when what am I having for dinner? You know, or am I going to the store right now or not?
Oh my God.
Am I ready to get out of bed?
Yeah.
Wake up, you know.
It's me when I'm ready to go home.
Ah, I tell you. Well, we thank you so much for spreading your wings with us and coming on to GMQC at 8. We hope to see you tomorrow. Our next news at 11 o'clock.